Hey guys, RTT back here for the video. Guys, today we have an interesting video for you. We have an iPad mini 6, the most recent iPad mini, with LTE 5G, and then we have the Surface Duo 1 right here. So the question is, which one should you pick up? Because obviously, if we go ahead and open up the Surface Duo 1, it's actually very, very comparable, size-wise, to the iPad mini. Of course, the biggest issues being the bezels. The bezels makes the screen smaller on the Surface Duo 1, but of course, Surface Duo 1 has this functionality. 180, 360, both screens, and of course, this is running the latest and greatest software, Android 12L, while the iPad mini is running iOS 16. So, let's get started. Starting off right away, really cool feature that was added in iOS 16 for the iPad was the ability to actually connect this iPad to an external monitor and have a second display. Now, with the brand new update of Android 12L on the Surface Duo 1, you can now connect this to a separate monitor and actually remote control your PC, which of course is, in my opinion, one of the best features. Kind of adds Windows Cotillion to the Surface Duo 1. Now, let me go ahead and put these both in shot. First test I want to do is actually Geekbench. Now, this is a little bit of a test to see underneath the hood when it comes to these two devices. Let's go ahead and open both of them up here. So we can see right away, this is, of course, running iOS 16, iPad 14.2, 6th generation iPad mini, Apple A15 Bionic chip, 2.2 gigahertz with 4 gigabytes of RAM. While this bad boy right here is running Android 12L, it has different cores, of course, but pretty much 2.42 gigahertz, and I believe this is running 6 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go ahead and run our benchmarks here. So we're going to do a CPU on both. Let's go ahead and run a CPU on both. And once these finish, we're going to look at the numbers and see which one we got and which one's better. Alright, so now that the tests are done, let's go ahead and take a look at what the numbers actually are. Surprisingly enough, the Surface Duo 1 took absolutely forever to actually go ahead and get done. But our first test we have here is going to go ahead and be, let me show both cameras here. 1594 single core, 4523 multi-core. So, kind of interesting how that ended up going. I kind of expected that to be a little lower than that. I'm surprised how amazing this iPad mini is. I'm going to tell you right now, absolutely god tier. Alright, so now the Surface Duo. We have 621 single core, 24, we gotta put it for this camera too, 2499 multi-core. So, yeah, pretty much half the performance for the single core and half the performance for the multi-core. So, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are rocking these two devices, don't get me wrong, is the mini really plausible to use as a cell phone? Kinda not. First off, it does have its own phone number. It also does have iMessage. It does have FaceTime. So it does have a lot of features that you will actually want. Of course, biggest issues with both devices, neither device is waterproof. Neither device has NFC. Neither device has, what's called wireless charging. So, yeah. It's really kind of funny to say this, but in this day and age, are you going to end up putting this iPad mini in your pocket and actually be able to walk around with it? Probably most likely no. But you also got to keep in mind, for half the performance, the price tag is also half the price tag. This iPad mini cellular edition is going to come in at around $600, plus you also have to go ahead and get a cellular plan with it. So that's additional money every single month. While this Surface Duo 1 comes in around $300. And yes, you do have to go ahead and get a cellular plan with it, but it's not 5G. It's only 4G. So you kind of can take that however you want. Do you really care too much about 5G? Because yes, the iPad mini is going to give you 5G. Or do you care more about 4G and you're saving money? So, it really comes down to money at the end of the day. For price to money ratio, this is almost perfect for that discussion. When it comes to, is it worth it for the money? Because you're literally getting double the money, but double the performance. So, again, like I said, very cool. And of course, you don't get the luxury of being able to go 0, 180, 360 like you are on the Surface Zero 1 versus the iPad mini. We, of course, do have a 11 megapixel camera, which actually is a 13, but it's kind of glitched and messed up because of glass. It's 11 megapixel camera. While this bad boy right here, let's go ahead and take a look with, how do I actually, to flip it, there we go. Alright, so, while this one right here, of course, does have an absolutely beautiful camera. But if we go ahead and compare these two, let me go ahead and open up the camera app here. I think it's under, let me go, let's go to camera right there. Okay. Now, this one does, the iPad mini does have 2 cameras versus 1 camera of the Surface Duo 1. So again, like I said, you're getting double the performance, also double the cameras. But if you go ahead and look at this, I'm going to go ahead and actually use the camera down here for this. It doesn't look bad. For an iPad, for a tablet type device, it actually looks pretty dang good. And same thing with this phone too. I don't want to go ahead and trash on this phone either. Okay. Okay, we might be having a glitch. There we go. Still looks absolutely gorgeous. I will say though, it looks better on the iPad than it does the Surface Zero. That's, like I said, overall wise, which one should you go with? If you are going for strictly as an actual cell phone, I gotta go with the Surface Zero 1. I mean, I can't really go with the iPad mini as a strictly a cell phone. If you're going for a gaming device, I would probably still go with the Surface Zero 1. You can use emulators. You can also use anything in Xbox Game Pass, plus anything in the Play Store. Plus, you can even download other games online. So, the Android system as an entirety, I love it a lot more than iOS because it gives you the freedom of doing whatever you want, whenever you want. While iOS kind of ties you down, so it avoids you from being able to fully, get the most out of your devices. If you're strictly looking at it from a performance thing, I would say overall performance-wise, you're probably going to have a better thing in the iPad than you will with the Surface Zero 1. But still, like I said, both these great devices. Couldn't really go wrong either way. I mean, you can save the money, save $300, go to Duo 1, and actually pay some, the phone bill. Just like that. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, hit the like, comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.